Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I am doing the Do I Have That Book challenge. So I've basically been seeing the Do I Have That Other Book challenge doing the rounds on YouTube at the moment, but unfortunately because I've not done the first part of the challenge, I can't take part in the second part of the challenge. So we are rectifying that today. If you're not familiar with it, the Do I Have That Book challenge is basically a set of 20 questions asking for books with certain characteristics, either on the cover or within the story or whatever. And you basically have to go through your bookshelves and find a book that fits that prompt sort of thing or has that characteristic. Now, I know full well going into this that I am probably going to fail this challenge miserably, purely because something I don't think I've actually mentioned on my channel before is my collection of books is fairly small at the minute. Basically, when I finished university 4 years ago now, I think, I did English literature, and when I finished I had a little meltdown. I was in a massive year-long reading slump. I didn't want to look at another book anytime soon. I was also doing a lot of moving around from my uni flat to home to another flat, so I didn't want to carry all those books. So I gave all of my books away to charity shops and completely started again. Something I do not recommend doing. It's one of the biggest mistakes I have ever made. But basically, now that I am completely into reading again and so passionate about it, I am starting to build up my collection, and it's probably my biggest hobby, to be honest, is actually collecting books. But because of that, I feel like there are going to be a few prompts that I cannot hit. But we'll try our best, it's fine, you know, these things happen. So this is my bookshelf here. I think you can see all of the shelves bar one-ish, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to bring the book up to the front to show anyway for each prompt. So without further ado, let's get into the question. So question one is, do you have a book with deckled edges? And I already know the answer to this. No, I do not. Up until about a month ago, I didn't even know what deckled edges were. I'd never heard the term before. I had no idea what they were, and I think if I had a book with them I would have noticed and been like, what's that? I'm not the biggest fan from what I've seen, but I probably would like to own at least one book with deckled edges just to like have that as part of my collection, particularly for doing things like this. But no, I do not own a book with deckled edges. Question two is, do you have a book with 3 or more people on the cover? Here we go. So Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez does have a few different people. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people on this cover. So there we go. Hit my first prompt. Question 3 is, do you have a book based on another fictional story? Which I feel like I should. Oh, that's really annoying. I could have just used the book that I've just chosen because it's a retelling of Grease, the musical. That's really annoying if I'm not been able to find another one that fits. This kind of works. I feel like this is kind of cheating, but I'm going to go with it anyway. I'm going to go with Cinderella's Dead by Caitlin Bayron. This isn't so much a retelling of Cinderella. It's set 200 years after Cinderella, I believe. But in the story it does kind of rewrite Cinderella's story in that it says that the fairy tale was kind of idealised and there's a lot more to it. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Next question is, do you have a book with a title 10 letters long? I feel like this one could take a while. 10 letters. Oh my god, this one's really hard. Oh. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got one. So, The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. This is actually one of the only books that I kept once I did that big clear out after uni, because this is a book that I actually used for my dissertation, and it's one of the only books that I have tabbed purely for that reason, so that I can go to quotes for my dissertation. So yeah, The Bell Jar, 10 letters. The next question is, do you have a book with a title that starts and ends with the same letter? This might be the only one that I have that fits this prompt, and that is The Weighing of the Heart by Paul Tudor Owen. I was actually sent this by the author to do a review of on my blog, so if you want to have a look at that, my blog is always linked down below, but this does start and end with a T, so yes. The most time consuming thing of this is trying to get the books back on the shelves. Do you have a mass market paperback book? I don't actually know what a mass market paperback book is, so let's just Google that. For the masses on a budget, a mass market paperback book is a small, usually non-illustrated and less expensive bookbinding format. The customary size is 6.75 inches tall by 4.25 inches wide. I don't think I do. I'm not really entirely sure what it is, which is really bad, but I'm just gonna skip that one. The next question is, do you have a book written by an author using a pen name? And I do. And the only reason I know this is because I just watched Hannah from A Clockwork Reader's video of this challenge, and she used this author, so I'm going to copy, because I didn't know that this was a pen name. But Cassandra Clare apparently is a pen name. I didn't know this, but there you go. Cassandra Clare. The next question is, do you have a book with a character's name in the title? Yeah, I must. Here we go. Simon versus the Homo sapiens Agenda. I just read this book this year and absolutely adored it. I have yet to watch the film, so I need to do that at some point because I've heard it's a very good adaptation. But Simon is the main character's name, so there we go. The next question is, do you have a book with 2 maps in it? Definitely have a book with 1 map in it. 2 could be pushing it. So we're going for fantasy here because those are the ones that usually have maps in them. I don't think I do. I think that's just going to have to be another prompt that I can't hit. I have a few with 1 map in them, but I don't think I have any with 2 maps in them, so... ah well. The next prompt is, do you have a book that was turned into a TV show? Yes. I'm going to go with Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This has had many TV series, even probably mini series, but I'm just going to count that. It must have had God knows how many adaptations. So Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Also, I absolutely love this edition. I currently have 3 of these cloth-bound classics, but I want to get all of them. I want like at least 1 full shelf just of these amazing cloth-bound classics because I think they're absolutely beautiful. The next prompt is, do you have a book written by someone who was originally famous for something else, i.e. celebrity, athlete, politician, TV personality, etc.? I feel like I probably don't, because I don't have like any non-fiction. I don't really read autobiographies or memoirs or anything like that. And as far as I'm aware, I'm not sure I have anything written by someone who started off anything else. I do have one, but I've already used it. I'm just going to use it again just so that I actually have an answer for it. The Weighing of the Heart by Paul Tudor Owen. Paul Tudor Owen is a journalist first and foremost, I believe. I think he was an editor for The Guardian. I want to say I should really do my research before I say that, but I'm pretty sure it was The Guardian. So yeah, he'll have been known as a journalist and editor before bringing out a fictional book. That works. My shelves are such a mess now. The next question is, do you have a book with a clock on the cover? I already know my answer to this one. So, yeah, one of my all-time favourite books, The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I only just read this year, but it's an all-time favourite book. Instantly fell in love with it. It's just amazing, and if you haven't read it, you need to go read it. But of course, the clock is right in the centre there. It is a very integral part of the story. The next question is, do you have a poetry book? I really don't think I do. I have a couple of books written in verse, but that's not the same. No, I don't. I'm not a big poetry gal. Like, it's just not my favourite format. So, no. Do you have a book with an award stamp on it? Surely I must have one somewhere. But which one? Ah, here we go, got one. So I have The Sympathizer. This was the winner of the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction in 2016. It would stop shimmering. I have actually not read this book yet, but it's one of the few that I didn't throw out when I was throwing out all my other books, because I've heard such amazing things about it, and I do plan to read it at some point, but I haven't quite got around to it yet. But it's supposed to be incredible, so yeah, we're going to read it at some point. The next question is, do you have a book written by an author with the same initials as you? The answer to that is 100% no. I have 3 initials because my surname is double-barreled, but there's no hyphen, it's just a space. So basically my mum and dad never got married, so they just put their 2 surnames together for me and my brother. So my initials are IMK. There's no way there's another author with those initials anywhere in the world, I don't think, and definitely not on my shelves, so we're just gonna have to miss that one out. Next question is, do you have a book of short stories? Yes. This is Reader, I Married Him by a collection of authors. They are short stories all inspired by Jane Eyre, so I think there's a lot of feminist stories in here, and yeah, I bought this because, well, I actually got it in a charity shop and I saw it and I wanted to read it because I love Jane Eyre, so anything inspired by Jane Eyre is amazing. And also there are some amazing authors on here. So it's Emma Donoghue, who wrote Room, which I adored. We've got Audrey Niffenegger, who I'm pretty sure is the author of Time Traveler's Wife, which I have not read, but I've heard very good things about. So yeah, I have yet to read any of these short stories, but I do plan to. The next one is, do you have a book that is between 500 and 510 pages long? Well, that's just mean, isn't it? I don't know. I guess I'll just start pulling out books. Well, I have 400, so you're no good to me. Well over, well under. Hey! Okay, there we go, we've got one. 501. You can maybe see that? I don't think you can. 501 pages. Oh my god. Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. Another very good book. The next question. Do you have a book that was turned into a movie? Oh, yes. Here we go. The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. Another very adored book. This is incredible, and I can't remember if I watched the film first or read the book first, but I remember really enjoying the film, but I felt like the book, there's just so much more emotion in it, and as there often is, like, you just get to know the characters so much better in a book, so yeah. Next one is, do you have a graphic novel? And I do. If you watch my book organisation video, you will know my bottom shelf is reserved only for graphic novels. There aren't that many yet, but yeah, so I'm just going to pull one out just so you can see that I actually have some. Okay, my camera just ran out of space and I had to delete a few things, so I don't know if we're in the same position as we were before, but we're going to keep going. So example of some graphic novels are the Heartstopper series. These are my favourite graphic novel series of all time so far, because I only actually started reading graphic novels this year, so I'm sure there'll be lots more to come, but I do think it'd be difficult to top these because they're just amazing. They are cute, they are fluffy, they make you laugh, they make you cry, and they also obviously tackle some really important themes as well, so they're just amazing. And the final question is, do you have a book written by 2 or more authors? Yes. What if it's as by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera? This of course follows 2 people and the 2 different authors narrate the 2 different characters, if that makes sense, so that there's different styles of writing for each character, so they really have their own sort of personality. So yeah, another book that I thoroughly enjoyed. I think it was my first Becky Albertalli and first Adam Silvera book, and I do hope to read more of those because I know they are loved and adored by many, so yes. So there we go, those are my answers for the Do I Have That Book challenge. I actually hit a lot more prompts than I thought I was gonna. I feel like I only missed a few, maybe like 2 or 3. Could be wrong there. But I thought I was gonna miss a lot more, so I'm happy. But as always, if you did enjoy this video, then do please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe for more content, comment down below with any of your thoughts and feelings, and I will see you in my next one.